Gonna meet up with my pal here, the winner of the very first ever Pinkbike Academy, Evan Wall.
Good morning.
Good to see you, mate.
You too.
Thanks. Evan just moved over from Revelstoke, which is in the interior of BC. It's probably super cold and snowy there right now, but you're in Squamish on the best coast and also home of Pinkbike headquarters. So pretty convenient for me. I want to know more about you, more about life in general, and how it's been since you've become a professional mountain bike rider. So let's head on out for a shred and do some catching up.
Deadly.
All right. Thank you, Evan, for joining us. That was a nice little warm up to get to this beautiful view spot here. How is it since you moved to Squamish? How's life?
Yeah, it's been awesome. Been here for like a month now and been having fun and training so far and getting settled. Pretty cool, riding new trails pretty much every day, which is awesome. And yeah, just kind of came out here after winning the Academy just to give it my all. There's no riding in Revelstoke this time of year, so that's kind of what naturally brought this move.
And from what I know, like, you love winter sports. Is that hard for you to kind of leave that little bubble and come out here?
No, not too hard really. And like, there's still skiing and stuff, but I decided to like sell my sled and just give it my all for this winter coming into next season for biking.
How hard was it to keep this secret of winning the Pinkbike Academy? Because it's been like a couple of months now, so is that a really hard secret to keep?
Yeah, it's definitely pretty tricky to keep the secret. Get a lot of people asking, and you just kind of tell them to keep watching the episodes and such. But yeah, definitely some people nagging pretty hard to know.
It's probably a little tricky that you're just riding around on this beautiful golden bike here.
Yeah, that's maybe a bit of a giveaway, but as long as I don't say the words that I won, I'm safe.
I've spent a lot of time on the receiving end of the keyboard warriors, but how did that work for you? Did you actually read some of the comments and watch all the episodes as things rolled out?
Yeah, we get together on Thursdays, just a couple buddies, and play a little Drink Bike Academy.
Nice.
Just to make it fun, and then usually scroll through the comments and see what people have to say.
Have they been pretty kind to you, or did you get any bit of hate out there?
No, I haven't seen anything mean yet. I've had a couple people reference me to Spicoli, which is pretty funny. Get a good laugh out of that one.
Nice, Spicoli. Maybe we'll just start calling you that, Spicoli Wall now.
Yeah, perfect. Has a good ring.
What was the first thing you did when you got home from the Academy?
Got home from the Academy, it was kind of late in the day, so didn't do much that day, and then woke up and rode Bike Park the next day, which was mint.
At that time, did you live at home with your parents, or were you out on your own?
Me and my girlfriend had a place like literally 45 seconds from the gondola.
Oh, sick.
So I just wake up in the morning and ride to the gondola with my coffee and my water bottle and do a lap.
Did she have a little welcome home party for you? A little celebratory thing?
She was on a bike trip at the time, so she was out on the island.
Nice, good girl.
Yeah.
Now that you live in Squamish, have you interacted or hung out with any of your old contestants, or do you keep in touch with any of those guys?
Yeah, definitely keep in touch with them all. Ben, I'm quite close with, and he's out on the island for school right now, but hopefully when he comes back, we'll get to do some riding together, and then seen Vlad around a bit because he's riding around. And Angie and Joe I've also seen out on the trails.
Were you and Ben homies before the show, or did that little bromance happen along the way?
Could it be that you were made for me?
No, we've known each other for quite a while, like just from riding and racing over the years and stuff. And then, yeah, we just that was the most time we've ever spent together consecutively. So we got close then for sure.
That's pretty rad. And you guys were roomed up with Tom as well, the three brothers.
Yeah, good old Tombo.
So you must be pretty stoked to have like a full meal deal going into 2021, bikes, kits, gear. What are you most excited about?
Yeah, it's crazy just having Orbea kind of has everything dialed in. So we got the manager Primos and some other people behind the scenes kind of helping organize everything. So it'll be sweet to get to know all the new brands as the year goes through.
Yeah, that sounds pretty rad. I mean, I could see an opportunity like this being given to someone and then they don't really know what to do with it. You know, they're just kind of like, here's the tools, now go do something. But it sounds like you actually have some support behind you and some people that are helping to guide you.
For sure, yeah. Like everybody's in different parts of the world, but we've been hopping on like Google Meet calls and stuff, and they've been super helpful and kind of just figuring out what everybody's stoked to do. So it's been awesome to work with them so far.
Having seen the full season of Pink Bike Academy, seeing, you know, everybody get eliminated along the way and the challenges that we put out there for you guys, what do you think it takes to win? Like, why did you get on top over everybody else?
To be honest, I think just being genuine. Like, you don't want to try to put an act on the whole time, and you definitely don't want to win not being yourself. But yeah, I basically just went into it having fun and doing my best to like ride fast and be a good person, but not trying to put on an act or anything.
Yeah, I think that's super spot on. I noticed it kind of right away, especially because I knew so many competitors. I'd say like the first day to 3 days, it was a bit like, okay, you guys are just coming out of your shell, you know, I know that's not how you really act kind of thing. And then, yeah, it seems like by around day 3, day 4, everybody was pretty happy around each other and just happy being themselves. So
yeah, for sure.
If somebody wants to do Pink Bike Academy Season 2, what sort of advice would you give them?
I would just say, do it. Like, get your submission video in and yeah, it'd be a sweet time. Like, if you look at it, it's just 2 weeks of riding your bike and hanging out with cool people, so you can't really go wrong.
What if you didn't win? You know, what do you think you still would come out with like kind of the same mentality as now?
Oh yeah, well, probably a little bit different just because like the prize is huge, but the exposure you gain from it and just the experience in general, like learning the industry and meeting people and stuff is huge. So you're not gonna come out with like a bad situation, really.
I think all the competitors, I think they all feel pretty much the same. You know, everybody had a really good time on the show, awesome opportunity, and yeah, it was a good, fair opportunity as well. So you can't knock everybody for trying their hardest, that's for sure. 2 very deep questions coming at you. First one, what are you most stoked about with this opportunity?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Kind of just everything, really. It's hard to narrow it down to one thing, but like being supported and given so many more opportunities, both for racing and like media, are huge. So everything's super exciting.
What did you really learn through the Pink Bike Academy experience that you're gonna take with you forward?
A big thing was like kind of the behind the scenes. It's definitely a huge part of becoming a professional rider, is having to do all the other stuff other than just going out and slapping corners, having fun.
Yeah, I think that's 100% true. Behind the scenes, and I think for a lot of viewers out there, like they really wanted to see more racing and more drama that way, but the reality is like racing and results are just a small part of a sponsorship. And so to have an opportunity like this, like what can you kind of give your sponsors aside from racing?
Yeah, it definitely kind of opened up like media stuff as well, kind of knowing like how to talk in front of the camera. I'm probably still not the greatest at it, but
just the other day you were out shooting with Chris Pilling, who you shot with at Pink Bike Academy. Like, is that kind of something you want to build on? Maybe work with some different professionals in the industry?
Yeah, for sure. And it was a huge way to get kind of the foot in the door and like meet people in the industry and stuff. And yeah, expanding media is definitely a huge part, and I'm super excited to get into that this summer.
Burning question for a lot of people out there, I'm sure. What does 2021, what's it gonna look like for you? What have you got planned?
Going into 2021, some good race plans. And then other than that, like working on as much media stuff as I can with Orbea, and yeah, kind of see what the first season with the team looks like and go from there.
Yeah, that'll be super rad. There's, I mean, tons of awesome local race series around here, but like, what do you think your top kind of goals are for 2021 as far as events? Like, where do you want to go? Where do you want to race?
Definitely EWS is at the top of the list for obvious reasons, and then it's hard to say what's going to happen with travel and such next year, but that'll be kind of at the top of the list, and then like local races and maybe some BMEs and stuff thrown in there. So it should be a full summer.
So you mentioned training. What does that look like for you these days? From what I understand, you've never been in a gym before just recently. So how's that going?
Yeah, it's been super fun. I haven't really done any formal training or work in the gym before, and then just started working with Joel from Blueprint Development. So that'll be sweet to have a proper training regime to follow, and yeah, see what happens there.
Yeah, get to train with like some of Squamish's local riders as well, which is gonna be good for you just to learn your ropes around the neighborhood.
Yeah, it's huge having there's so many good riders around here to chase around and ride with and bounce ideas off of. So it's gonna be a huge opportunity being here.
I mean, you're only 21 years old, so hopefully 2021's gonna be like your first year racing elite. So that's kind of a big deal. I think everybody's really stoked to see you go out there and give it your all and see what kind of results you can get.
For sure, yeah. Yeah, I'm super excited.
Well, what you see is what you get with Evan here. He's just a humble guy out to ride some bikes and have some fun. Super stylish and fast on the bike, I might add. Comes across as a little bit quiet at times, but I guarantee you when it's go time, he is full gas. Thanks for joining our ride today. Hope you guys are as stoked as I am to see Evan here and to see him succeed in this coming season. So make sure you guys subscribe if you like what you see, and we're gonna see you on the trails sooner than later.
Thanks, Christina.